We're gonna. All right, somebody needs to mute. There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Prepper Chicks After Dark. It is Tuesday, August the 12th, 2014, and we are usually here to play a little conflicted, but we're going to have a little twist to it tonight and see what we can come up with. Twist, by that I mean that we are... hang on one second here. We seem to have some technical difficulties. They are trying to get the call back, it says. Let me check in the chat room. Hello, hello, hello.
We're back.
All right, we got Jane. John, are you with us?
I'm back.
All right, Geek Prepper, why don't you say hello tonight?
Hi, everyone, as long as I'm on the line. Geek Prepper here. Come check us out over at geekprepper.org, giving you the edge when shit hits the fan.
I guess we should probably watch our language tonight, huh?
Oh, when the poo hits the griddle?
Thank you.
Sorry, I forgot there's kids, darn it.
It's okay.
All right.
Frackety kids.
So we're gonna introduce the little ones one by one and have them say a quick hi. But Hal, are you with us tonight? Calling Hal. Hal, are you there? Say hi. How about Jordan?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
We're here. Are you guys?
Oh, you're vibrating again. Okay. Callie, are you with us?
Hi, I'm here.
Awesome. Clint?
Hey, good to be back.
And Jocelyn.
Hello.
Awesome. We have a wide range of ages here tonight. So, geez, still having some issues here. I think we lost John again. All right, let's see if we can get him back in here. All right. So, the reason we invited all of you young ones here is we wanted to pick your brains a little bit on your thoughts on what's going on in the world out there and your thoughts on preparedness in general. And so, let's start with the first question. Anyone have a question they want to ask, or do you may go ahead and go first?
Yeah, Hal wants to go first.
I didn't. Oh, dang. Mom. All right, hold on. Where
Okay,
is
hold
it?
on, get it. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, you ready?
No, not at all. All right, so. All right, your parents aren't home, and someone's trying to get in the front door. Do you have a plan?
That was not the right one.
Okay, awesome. So the parents aren't home. Do you guys all have a plan? Let's start with Callie. What do you think?
I mean, the way we keep our doors here locked and everything, not much is going to break in, but we do have a wider range of artillery hidden about the house, so definitely run to one of those first.
Okay, and do you practice shooting on a regular basis? Do you have a firearm that you know how to shoot?
Yeah, I mean, I can shoot most everything we have.
And are there any other things that you do personally to make sure that you stay safe if someone doesn't knock at the door?
Not answer the door?
Okay, that works. Jordan, what do you think?
I don't know.
Oh, what happens if somebody's... We've gone through this in practice.
Right.
If somebody's trying to get in, what do you do?
Well, first thing, if you can, you grab the phone.
And?
Then you can get a baseball bat and hide in a bathroom.
No. Where do you hide? Where's your hide spot?
Closet.
Yeah.
Closet or bathroom.
Well, what do you do with the phone?
Mom, I think we're losing you.
911.
Or do you just hit
There we
somebody
go.
with the phone? Yeah? Okay. Charlotte, so you grab the phone
You hide in the closet.
and,
Down 911.
right?
And then basically you just keep hiding until they come there or that guy comes there.
Yeah. We're not quite trained to get into the toy box for him just yet.
But Big Brother has a few tricks up his sleeve.
Well, what does Big Brother
Did you
do?
lose us again?
Nope, you're still there. We can hear you.
There are a few tricks hidden around that I can get to.
Now, how old are you?
Toys, okay, whatever.
How old are you?
14.
14. Okay. So what are these tricks?
Yes. Well,
They're toys. not-
okay, toys around the house.
So you know how to use all the toys.
Yeah, I know how to use every little toy we have. Most everyone.
How comfortable are you with your
And he knows where.
I'm comfortable with using both of the ones I can get to currently.
How many of your friends do you think are comfortable with your toys?
Comfortable.
You are comfortable.
Do your other friends are they comfortable with
None
the
of them
same
know
one?
about it.
No. How many of your friends do they shoot?
Yes, I've got two friends who are comfortable with the same kind of toys. I'm comfortable about them.
So they have the same kind of toys at their house?
Yes, somewhere.
Do you talk about that when you're hanging out with your friends? A lot?
Oh.
Clint, what do you think?
Well,
Not you.
my first reaction is I try never to be too far away from my firearm. However, for people who aren't comfortable using firearms or don't feel like they could use a firearm in that situation, I would say try to find a back way out of the house. If you can get as far away from the house as possible, you will be safe.
So if someone's breaking in the house, you have your firearm ready?
Yes.
And if you choose not to use that, you have a plan where you can escape the house without anyone detecting you?
That is correct, and it is also always a good idea to have a bug out plan.
Gotcha. John, are you with us? Oh, looks like we lost him too.
I am with you.
You are here. Awesome.
No.
Now you have smaller children, in the under 10 age. Do you practice with them on a regular basis on what to do if someone's trying to break into the house?
Tango, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, my Skype is horrible. I apologize.
I think it's everybody's tonight. So, Geek, you have younger children. Do you practice with them on a regular basis on what to do if someone's trying to break into your house?
We do. They are younger. They're 8, 6, and 4. So right now it's mostly hide or escape to the neighbors. So we've got them in martial arts, but an 8-year-old black belt can't stand up to many adults. So
Right.
hide and flee, I guess, is our goal right now.
What do you think is the age that you start having those conversations with the kids?
You mean the fight or flight, or?
Yeah.
Well, we have them now, but when it's time to stand and fight, I would say probably adolescence, when you start bulking up and getting some height and reach on you. I think that's a good time where you can, because that's also when you're in more danger. Little kids, well, to most people aren't really, well, that's not even true. Anybody's in danger all the time, but I think adolescents would tend to draw more attention than a little kid scampering away, but that may not be true for predators, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We've seen an influx of well, let's move on, and we'll go back. Okay. Next question. Does anyone have a question they want to throw out there?
I think I do.
Okay.
How about mom and dad are home? Someone knocks on the door identifying themselves as the police. What do you do?
So, same kind of question, just that now that they've said that they're the police. Callie, why don't you answer this question, because we had the police at our house the other day, and you were home. And how did you handle it? What did you do?
Well, I didn't answer the door again.
I'm
Just
sensing a
called
theme
you
here.
out.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah, I'm a pretty decent shut-in.
What if they were trying to get in the door?
If they were trying to get in the door,
Yeah.
I'd probably call. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so we've got the police, and they're trying to get in the door.
Would you call the police?
That's exactly the dilemma here. But there's that whole scenario when you get pulled over by a cop and you are allowed to call the station to check to make sure that the people out there are actually policemen. So you could probably do that really quickly.
A good point.
Still wouldn't let them in the house. And then at that point, if they're still trying to enter, well, then they've just become a trespasser. So defenses.
Okay. Jocelyn, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely call the police station, and I don't really know the number, so I just probably call 911 and then tell them, like, hey, is this actually actual cops? Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Hal, what do you think?
Well, we've already got a plan for that. What we do is they're asking to get in, identifying as police. First asks for a badge, and Jordan, they ask them to show it through the window of the door, and Jordan runs around to see if there's a squad car out front, and then we handle it from there. But if they want to come out, if they want to talk to us, one of us will grab the phone, dial it to 911, just in case they aren't really a police officer.
So you've
Do
got,
you let them in the house?
No, never let them in the house, unless they have a warrant.
even if, I was going to say, even if they're the police, you're not going to let them in the house. Okay. So let me ask you
No,
guys.
not without a warrant.
Without a warrant, okay. And have any of you guys actually seen a warrant? Do you know what it looks like? Would you know?
Oops.
Yeah.
No. Okay, that goes on the list for school tomorrow.
About that.
Epic.
Yeah, there's a flaw in my plan.
I'm gonna write a letter.
Go on, man.
I never even thought about it, but yeah. Well, let me ask you guys this:
I also don't know what a city badge looks like.
you guys see everything that's going on in the news today, between what's going on overseas with the wars that people are fighting, and even here in the United States with natural disasters like tornadoes and hurricanes and fires and flooding and stuff like that. In your life, how important is preparedness and being prepared for anything that could happen? You guys are all under the age of 20 years old, and you're getting ready to, or thinking about what you're going to do with the rest of your life. So how important is preparedness to the extent that your parents do it important to you? Jordan, what do you think? Is it important to you?
Preparedness to me is important.
Why?
Very important. I wish we had, machine gun in hand, usually?
I'm sorry.
You want a machine gun? I guess you watched the news.
Yeah.
This coming... Well, this is also coming from the child who really isn't comfortable handling anything larger than a 410.
Hey!
Well, you're not.
You can handle a 22 Uzi.
Okay, go ahead and finish. Preparedness, not just guns, but preparedness in general.
Like,
And that we always try to not leave our house with, nothing in our pockets. We never try to do that.
But how important is it to you, though? Do you think it's really important, or you do it just because we tell you to do it? Yeah, there's This is the child who's interested to a point, and then it's pretty much, I'll let you guys handle that. I think it makes him nervous.
is it the nervous part? Does it come from knowing why you prepare, or the preparedness part of it in general?
It's actually knowing that it could happen, and that it could be from, like, a small F1 tornado forming, like a mile away, or a F5 forming above your house.
Does it make you feel any more or more protected, though, knowing that you have extra food and water in the house?
Yes, it actually does.
Good. Hal, what do you think?
Quit looking at an Olive Garden commercial.
Sorry, he was still talking.
She's talking to you.
She is?
She asked you, how important is it to you?
Oh, it's very... Well, it's very important, because I feel so much safer now. Because all this weird stuff that's been going on lately, even here in the U.S., I mean, the storms have been getting rough. It's nice to know that we have these backup plans forever.
Do your friends do you think that they have plans in place too? Or do you think your family is a little bit more prepared than the rest?
Yeah, I think we're a lot more prepared than... I don't know if any of my friends prepare like us. I mean, I haven't come out and asked any of them, but...
Gotcha.
I can pretty much tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, one of our family, one of my friends does.
Okay. Callie, what's preparedness mean to you?
Well, I mean, it's definitely important, and I feel like the knowledge is the most important thing, study up and all that, because all of that water, all of that food that you have saved up is only going to last you a certain amount of time. After that, you just got your wits.
Okay. Jocelyn?
Well, I think I'm probably the least prepared person here.
How does that make
and
you
I
feel?
know the least out of everyone, but I think it's definitely really important to know how to do things or how to, like, prepare for different situations, because, I mean, if you don't know anything, you're probably gonna die. So...
Okay. Clint, what do you think?
I think preparedness is extremely important for anybody in any walk of life, really, because you never really know what's going to happen. Like, you could just go out into town or into a city, and there's a possibility you might get mugged. And you can save up food and water, and if you're at home when something happens, then you have that there. But I agree with Callie with you need to kind of educate yourself, get yourself the knowledge you'll need to survive, because it could just as easily happen where, say, you're 200 miles from home visiting a relative when something happens, and at that point you don't have any of your prepping supplies.
Okay, I'm going to ask you each on a scale of 1 to 10. As you guys get older and you move out of your parents' home and you're on your own, how do you, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the extreme and fully prepared, how do you think you're going to rank your own home? And what you're planning on doing as far as preparedness goes. So, Hal, give me a number.
6.
6? Okay. Jordan, what do you think?
5 or 6, probably 6.
Alrighty. Callie?
I'm going to say a solid 4.
A 4. Because you know your mom's going to take care of you?
Sure.
Keep dreaming. Clint?
I'd say about a 5.
And Jocelyn?
Probably a 1.5 or a 2.
Why so low? You just don't... I mean, why is your number so low?
Well, right now, with the knowledge that I have, I'm just definitely not prepared, so...
But as you get older, you have the choice of improving that, so you're not...
Yeah, so I think I'll slowly get a higher ranking to like probably a 4, 5, but right now it's like a 1 or a 2.
Gotcha.
At least she's honest.
Yeah, yeah. John, do you have any questions?
No, I'm just actually amazed hearing this. This is good stuff. But I'll think of some.
Okay.
That scares me.
Yeah.
Well, everybody in the room is a Doctor Who fan.
Really?
So, yeah, if you were the Doctor, and we're getting ready here in a couple days to see the new season, but if you were the Doctor and you had the power to move the capital of the United States anywhere that you wanted, where do you think would be a good location to move the capital?
No, Gallifrey Falls.
I got it.
All right. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Go ahead.
The TARDIS.
You want to go inside the TARDIS. No, I'm talking about...
Come on.
You're talking to geeks, so
Yeah, true.
All right.
Okay, you have to pick a city itself.
Oh.
Or an area.
where do you think it would be good?
Or do you want it to say where it's at?
Somewhere in Alaska.
Alaska.
No, somewhere in that.
Somewhere in Alaska. Okay. Jordan, what do you think?
Maybe Kentucky? Maybe? Probably in Kentucky, or... because it's somewhere in the middle, and to me, just having like a big monument, just, suddenly for me, it just feels like it has to be in the middle somewhere.
Okay. Jocelyn, what do you think?
I really don't know. Right where it is, I guess.
Okay, Clint?
Honestly, I wouldn't be able to pick one city. I think tactically the best place for the best thing for the capital will be to split it up between cities. Washington D.C. is a good place for a capital. However, with it being so close to the East Coast, which is where we have the majority of our population, if somebody did want to attack the United States, say one nuclear bomb would be able to take out the government and the majority of our populace. However, we split up between Washington, D.C., maybe somewhere in some nowhere state like Wisconsin, or, let's see, Kansas, something like that. And then another branch of it out west somewhere. It would be a lot harder to hit all the parts of the government, completely crippling our government.
Okay. Callie, what do you think?
I agree with Clint. A part of me also wants to keep it mostly towards the edges of the country itself, because, you know, if it happened to be right in the middle of the U.S. and someone were to, you know, put a bomb right in the center, that's going to cause a lot of problems for the whole country, but not, you know, and if it's closer to the edge and someone were to bomb, you would also hit parts of Mexico and Canada, pissing those people off in the process.
Did you just cuss?
What?
Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Cursor.
I think that one belongs to Geek.
That wasn't me.
No, the child. The child belongs to you.
They all do. Not those children,
weird.
I mean all children.
Very weird.
She's the one we found at Dairy Queen earlier. Okay, some interesting points. So Alaska, all the way to splitting up the government. So I don't know how much you guys all know what's going on with our government, or how much you even care about what goes on with our government. But on a scale of 1 to 10, do you think that in your generation that you have concerns about how our government acts? What do you think? What do you think about our government right now?
On a scale from 1 to 10?
Yeah.
9.5.
Good or bad?
Bad.
Okay.
Why? What concerns you?
Just some of the way they're doing things. I mean, the border. We're just letting them walk right in. And when one of our guys takes a wrong turn, we won't even go and try to get him back.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Taxes. We're not helping Israel whatsoever.
And how old are you, Hal?
14.
14. Nice.
Does
You
this
pay attention.
surprise you somehow? What have I done?
It's nice to hear someone your age paying attention to what's going on out there. So if you could fix the border, what would you do? If you had the power, whatever power you needed, what would you do?
Probably close it. At this point, close it.
How would you go about closing it?
We could post the military, but that'd take a lot of effort.
And our military right now, a lot of them are still overseas.
Right. Well, we could do the National Guard. This is Texas. We couldn't really file any police forces down there.
You couldn't. You couldn't do what?
Funnel any police force down there. I mean, the actual police officers. National Guard would probably take care of most of it. But it's not our biggest border, so it'd be Canada.
No.
Okay.
Mexico is it?
Okay,
Yes,
I obviously don't know my geometry. I'm gonna go.
No,
Excuse me,
it's a bigger border issue than in Canada. Okay, so
Oh yes, I was talking about biggest.
yeah,
border.
well, the
Like,
biggest
physical.
border, no, but yeah.
That's what I meant.
Okay. Now you're
See,
giggling.
I told you.
They're not giggling at you, they're just giggling.
Sure. I'm done now.
She's busy typing.
Yeah, I am. Sorry. Okay. Jordan, what do you think?
From a scale of 1 to 10, bad. 10.5.
Whoa, you're awesome.
And basically the same reason that Hal was saying. Taxes one of the things.
Taxes. What concerns you about taxes?
Well, if I remember correctly, I saw a photo of, it was 1970s prices about maybe a dozen eggs, normally about 56 cents, and now they're like $2. $3. $3 now. So they've like skyrocketed up.
Jordan, that's inflation.
Yes, but taxes play into that inflation, so yeah, you're right about that. And how long before the taxes that are coming now get paid? Are we going to pay it off before we die? Are you going to have to pay it off? Who's going to have to pay it off? Do you remember when we discussed that?
No, I did not.
You don't? Okay.
No.
It's our grandkids, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here, pay our taxes!
Pretty much.
Yeah, back for the laugh.
All right. Callie, 1 to 10.
I might have to go with a nice 5.
So why? Why the middle of the road when it comes to our government?
Why? I don't know. People are constantly, prepping for the apocalypse. But, at this point in time, the government hasn't actually done too much to affect me personally. Now, if it starts to go into things such as 1985, Brothers Watching, that's when, rebellion's going to start up, everything's going to go crazy. And it's just, I don't know, it's too difficult to say right now.
Okay. Clint?
I would have to go with probably a 7. And the reason it's so low is I'm saving my 10 for when I think things have gone past the point of no return.
What's it going to take, do you think, in your opinion, where's that point of no return?
I would have to say when we start showing more signs of becoming kind of like a police state, and I don't really want to use that word too much, say martial law is declared. Say we do put troops on the border, and we have troops starting to arrest, even if they are illegal immigrants, are troops starting to arrest people. Things of that nature. That is when the government has shown that it is trying to take too much control over normal citizen life. And also 7 because, there's been this whole great controversy over Obamacare. Yes, it does help some people. However, I believe in exactly what the Constitution states. While it is a good idea and a good ideal, it is not the government's job to regulate that. I think in that aspect and several other aspects, the government is overstepping its bounds. However, at this moment in time, I think it is still fixable. I'm not sure if that's the right word either, but we haven't gone past the point of no return yet.
Okay. Jocelyn, what do you think?
I'd probably give it a 5 for the exact same reasons that Clint and Callie just said. I don't think we've gotten to the point where things are terrible, but I think that there are a lot of different issues that the government has overstepped, but I don't think it's unfixable yet.
Okay. Will any of you, do you think that you would, as you mature and grow up over the years, do you think that you would or you can do anything to influence how our government is run? Would you take office? And if so, what interests you?
Nah.
So that was
No way.
No.
So I'm hearing a no from Hal. I'm hearing a no from Jordan.
No from
Yeah.
Callie.
No from Callie. Clint?
Yes, if the opportunity presented itself to me, I would take power. I do not wish it. I do not want to take power. However, if it was somehow, in some way, thrust upon me, I would. Because, in my belief, one man can change the world, and one man can change a country. Okay. I'm not saying it would be easy, and as of right now, I do not know how I would go about doing it. But if the opportunity presented itself, then yes.
Okay. Jocelyn?
No. I couldn't do it.
Why? What disinterests you about holding public office?
I'm not really sure. It just doesn't seem like something that I would be good at. I think that most people would not like me in general.
All of it. It
Yeah,
all seems awful.
all of it seems like a terrible time.
So are there a lot of politicians that you guys don't like? Is that why you're not liking The Office?
All of them?
Yeah, I don't like politicians.
Why?
Liars.
Yeah, they're all. I think
They're in
they're
it for
all
the money.
liars. Yeah.
So if you had the opportunity to change that and actually do it to help people, you wouldn't do it?
No, I think what would happen is it would convert you into being like them.
And also, I don't think one person can change things.
Okay.
I mean, they can make an influence, but you're probably not going to be able to change that much.
Okay, when we're off the show, you and Clint can't argue back and forth. All right. Does somebody have a new question? All right, here's one. You guys have all, if you've been paying attention to the news, which it sounds like you all have, you obviously know there's an issue with Ebola, a very deadly disease going on. And most of the issue is in Africa, but we have brought a couple people over here to the United States that did have the disease and are being treated for it. So if something would happen and one of your parents contracted the disease, how would you go about let's see, how can we word this? I don't want to give anybody nightmares or anything.
Too late.
Too late?
Too late.
Putting the parent out of their misery?
Would you be able to turn them away from your home? Would you understand if your parent, whichever one contracted the disease, if they decided not to come home? And how would you go about living your life after that? Jocelyn, what do you think?
Well, I think they'd be in the hospital. I'm not exactly sure what the survival rate is, but isn't it like 40% chance of survival? So, I mean, that's kind of terrible odds, but I mean, there's a chance.
Clint, what do you think?
It kind of depends on how far the virus has spread. If it was in the beginning stages, I agree with Jocelyn. Chances are I would just contact the CDC or some kind of expert or somebody who actually knew something about the disease and have them come and take my parent to the hospital. However, if it was farther along, say that the virus is starting to spread out into the local populace, I do not think I would be able to turn my dad out of his own house. I would be the one to leave. I mean, I wouldn't have anywhere to go, really, but I would not turn my dad out of his own house.
So you would allow your parent to stay at their own home, and you would look for someplace else to live?
Yes, because, I mean, if they have the disease, by the time the symptoms start to show, the disease is probably already all over the house, and I would not know how to...
for the Ebola virus, so most likely you would just be in the hospital, probably in some sort of isolation unit for who knows how long, but yeah, leaving would probably be the best option if it were that drastic and that needed.
And would you, if you had to make a choice on staying or leaving your own home with your parent, like Clint said, would you leave and stay with someone else, or would you kick your parents out?
Well, I'm kind of already to that point where leaving is an option, so I'd probably just leave, as any normal 19-year-old would.
Okay. Hal, what do you think?
I really think it would depend on what the situation outside of my family would be. If Ebola was spreading, then I think the best option would be to kick them out. If it's this one thing, I think I would leave after getting help. I mean, getting help would be my first priority.
Do you have a network of people to rely upon, per se, that you could go to if you needed to?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Jordan, what do you think?
Well, I would either, if it was spreading pretty quickly, then I would probably leave. And if not, if it was an option, I would see if I could help family members as much as I could. But I would probably leave if it was...
Because you couldn't stand to kick us out.
Yeah. It's better than to take yourself out instead of kicking the sick family member out.
Gotcha.
So you just leave me there to die.
No. Again, if I could, I would try to help you.
I know.
You can do a can opener, can't you?
But it's too far.
Okay, you guys have all seen in the news about, the government or whomever wanting to take our guns away from us, and making it really hard for us to own firearms. If you were in charge of the school system, do you think kids should learn how to use firearms, either, handguns, shotguns, rifles, whatever, in school? Do you think that kids are responsible enough to learn how to use those? What do you think?
They used to, didn't they? I mean, they used to a long, long time ago.
Not that long ago.
Really? Okay, well, I've got no idea then.
Do the kids in your school learn how to shoot guns?
No.
And you're not sarcastic at all, right? Yeah,
nope, not sarcastic at all.
Do you think public kid schools should?
I think that should actually be a choice of the parents. Like, have a side class set up, and the parents and the kids should choose if they would want to take part in this.
Would it be something that you would do?
I think it would be, yeah.
Okay.
It's always a good idea to know how to defend yourself.
I would agree. Jordan, what do you think?
Well, I would think it would be pretty good as a normal class that we'd have to go to, but seeing how a kid got suspended from school by eating a Pop-Tart and shooting a gun, I think it would be a good side class. So, half the kids in school wouldn't get, suspended for it.
Do you think it was ridiculous that the kid got suspended for eating a Pop-Tart that looked like a gun?
Yes! I mean, and seriously, it's a Pop-Tart! How's it... What, are you going to shove it up their nose or something? How's a Pop-Tart going to affect them? Too much sugar or something?
Okay. All right. Callie, what do you think?
I definitely believe it should be the parents' choice whether or not. I don't think the school system should do anything about gun treatment. They should stick to education. The guns, parents could teach them with their students or their kids, and schools should just stay away from that because kids are awful. Kids would take any chance they have. Kids can't even hold a gun now, and they come in all the time. There are all the school shootings that you hear about. They should definitely just that should not be enforced in the schools.
Do you think, having a gun class in school is going to make school shootings worse?
Yes, because there are those kids who we don't know, you can't tell, who are going to use that to their knowledge, and, now they'll have better aim, along with, guns at schools themselves.
So it would bother you if they taught that in the schools?
Yes. If you're going to teach it, I don't mind if you're a kid and you learn it, but learn it with your parents. Your parents know you, your parents trust you. There's better knowledge there. And also, please, you can't carry your gun during school hours.
Okay. Clint, what do you think?
Okay, first of all, before I answer, I want to stress that I do believe when everybody's mature enough that they should at least learn how to hold a gun and use it. However, I would be furious if I found out that in a public school they were teaching my kid to shoot a gun. I agree with Callie, that is not something that I would want my kid doing in school. I would not feel safe with a bunch of kids handling guns in school. Now, I do support having police officers train professionals with guns at the school to protect the kids. The kids themselves having the gun, though, I do not think the majority of kids at that age would be responsible enough or mature enough to handle that.
So you don't think 4-H classes would work?
4-H classes possibly. However, I do not think that should be done through the school. If you want to take a 4-H class outside of the school, absolutely.
Yeah, plus you don't know the teacher who's teaching the gun class. It could be anyone. I mean, it's bad enough that we trust these people with our kids for 8 hours a day. Now you have to trust them with a gun with your kids for 8 hours a day? Ha. No.
And if that was something that was implemented, I would be very adamant about me being there with my kid while he was learning it.
Jocelyn, what do you think?
I definitely think it shouldn't be taught in public schools, just because I agree with Callie and Clint that it would just be really irresponsible, because I think that parents should decide if they're going to teach their kids how to shoot a gun, and because the parents know the kids, and they could have the talk about responsibility and the responsibility and maturity that comes with knowing how to shoot a gun and knowing the consequences that come with knowing how to use that weapon, and the consequences if you have to use it to defend yourself against someone.
Okay, so I grew up, and during deer season, a lot of the kids who drove to school had a gun rack in the back of their truck with shotguns on it. So would that bother you to see that on school grounds nowadays? Jocelyn, what do you think?
Nowadays, yes, because of just the rise in school shootings and shootings in general. Yeah.
Clint?
Well, the school that I went to was kind of a podunk backwoods school for my early years in school, and for me it also kind of depends on what age group it is. For elementary through middle school, I mean, not that kids at that age can drive anyways, but having a vehicle out there with a gun in it, I do not think that is a good idea, and yes, that would make me uncomfortable. However, in high school, when the kids have had a chance to mature a little bit, grow up, and say they hunt, no, I mean, I've actually walked outside of that high school that I was talking about and seen people with gun racks out there with shotguns on it, and it hasn't bothered me in the least.
Okay. Callie, what do you think?
I think it depends on the school and the people there, because our high school that we went to, there was a wide range of people who went there. There were, there's just a lot of super racist people, and we had a few black kids every once in a while. And I feel that these racist kids would take the opportunity to bring their guns with them and, just kill those poor kids. If it were a smaller community school, like the one you went to when you were younger, I feel, you would know those people better. You would know that they probably weren't going to snap anytime soon. But, I get so nervous thinking about school shootings. I would not enjoy seeing any sort of gun anywhere at the school unless if it was on someone who has been properly trained and has a badge.
Jordan?
It would actually definitely discomfort me, because knowing that there are some kids out there in schools that would see guns as a cool thing to, shoot around as a toy, and seeing how they can be clumsy with it, depending on what school it was at, if it was, high school, I would be very uncomfortable from that, because people could misuse it.
Okay. Hal, what do you think?
I think it would make me nervous, but in the way, more of the way of someone coming from the outside to get to the gun to do harm. I mean, yeah, so if they have the guns out in the open, someone's going to try to steal it eventually, if they keep it like that. Someone's going to notice, someone's going to steal it, someone's going to get hurt.
Okay, that leads into my next question. If you're out shopping at the store with your mom, does it make you feel uncomfortable to see someone with a firearm that's openly displayed? Even though they might have the proper training, we don't know, but you're just walking through the store, buying Twinkies or whatever, and somebody's standing there and they have a gun that's exposed. They might be with their family. Does that make you uncomfortable?
Well, around here, the only real times we ever see something like that is off-duty police officers. So I wouldn't be too worried. I wouldn't be really worried about it.
Okay, Jordan, does it make you nervous?
Well, could make me nervous if it was just a normal everyday person with a handgun showing out. Because knowing that it could be a police officer in disguise trying not to show everybody I'm a police officer and I have a gun.
But off duty.
Yeah, off duty, but it could just be a normal dude, and that could really make me nervous because it's someone you don't know that has a gun showing off, and you don't know what they're going to do with it.
Would it change your mind on that if it was a handgun or if it was like an AR-15?
If it was an AR-15, then I would feel more that it was an off-duty police officer, because how often will you see people an AR in their hands walking down a store? That would probably be a police officer. But
in Texas, that kind of happens, though, Aiden.
Yeah, but it doesn't normally.
Just not at Target.
Yeah,
not anymore.
It doesn't normally happen a lot. And having a normal handgun, that way, if it was a bad guy, people wouldn't see that, oh, hey, look, I have a handgun, I can do bad stuff with it.
Okay. Callie, what do you think?
I mean, I get nervous when people put their hands in their pockets. I would not be okay with an exposed gun. The fact that it's exposed, though, gives you slight more knowledge that this person does, in fact, have a gun. So maybe you could stay away from them. You know, if it were an AR-15, I would not be okay. Not at all. That would not be a good sign.
A handgun is less threatening, in your opinion, than seeing an AR-15.
Less bullets. Yeah.
I don't know. Depends.
Less lethality in my mind.
Clint, what do you think?
Well, to start off with, I myself am a handgun carrier. I have a license to conceal and to carry, and I do very often carry it exposed, so it wouldn't bother me seeing it exposed. However, if somebody was walking around with it in their hand, yeah, I'd probably be a little nervous. And as for the AR-15, I mean, it is our given right to bear arms, and I don't know how much I would freak out because I've never been in that situation, but if somebody was walking around my local Walmart with an AR-15 in their hands, I'd probably be a little wary.
Would it matter how they're carrying it?
Absolutely. I mean, if it's at the low ready, then, I mean... Okay, one sec. So they have it slinged over their back. They're probably not going to walk around with it slung over their back with malice intended. However, if it's at the low ready, or if they're carrying around, pulling it around, yeah, I'd freak out. I would get out of there.
Okay. And Jocelyn?
I would definitely be nervous if someone had a gun. Even if they had, like, a permit. I don't know that. So it would kind of make me nervous. And it kind of also depends on what they look like, how they're acting, who they're with. I feel like if they were with their family and they had, like, kids with them, then I would be like, okay, yeah, they're fine. But if they look suspicious and they were looking around and, like, reaching for their gun, yeah, it'd freak me out, and I'd probably run.
Okay. Well, I'm going to open this up. Does anyone have a question they want to ask? I hear whispering going on.
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, say something bad has happened, the poo has hit the fan, and it is about 3 months in. You have your trusted little group of friends, and you've been surviving okay, when you find out that your best friend in that group has been stealing food for the past month. How do you handle it?
Oh, so the poo hit the poo hit the fan.
The poo did hit the fan.
And it's 3 months later. Now, does your best friend live with you, or they live on their own and they're sneaking into your house?
Okay, say it's, you guys found, like, a little gated community, you have, like, a separate little food shack, and everybody has their own little house. And you find out they've been sneaking into the food shack between the guard shifts to steal the food.
Okay, so what are you going to do with this person?
Yes.
All right, Hal, do you have an answer?
Well, If it was bacon, they would be dead.
Okay.
But see, I told you it was a bad idea.
That's hilarious. Well, I think we all agree with you.
Well, almost all of us. Some
Yeah,
of us don't
almost,
like bacon.
No. Yeah.
I'm not a bacon fan either.
What?
Oh, you're kicking me out of your group now? Okay, what do you think you would do if your best friend was stealing food?
I don't think any best friend. I don't think would actually do that. But if
yeah,
it would,
it could happen if they're hungry or.
I would have to deal with it in some way.
That's what they're asking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would do. I don't know how. If we were really desperate, I would definitely do something drastic. But I really don't know what I would do.
It's okay, so you don't know.
Okay.
No, I actually do know.
Jordan.
It's okay, so it's a normal life, pretty much. Oh, okay, so it's not a normal life.
It's after something has happened,
Okay.
and we're trying to survive, not just live.
So,
And your best friend was stealing food from everybody else. That meant there was less for us to eat, and they were stealing. What would you do?
I'd probably say, if you do that one more time, I'm sorry to say this, but you would be kicked out of our group, and if we find you again, we'd probably steal from you. But if we're doing it in the silly scenario, they steal
no,
like
no.
it. Okay. But yes,
So you think you would kick them out
if they started after warning?
a warning? Okay.
Okay. So just kick him out. Callie, what do you think?
Well, since we have this gated community and whatnot, and he is our best friend, I believe we would probably, talk about it diplomatically, get everyone, in the group who doesn't know about the situation, talk to them about it. It would probably end along the lines of this person has to pick up extra shifts. They're not allowed to be near the food shack anymore.
Oh!
No!